What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for me, please. Y'all seeing the title? Let's jump right into it.
Of ICE raids in Los Angeles. They will be joining the 4,000 National Guardsmen already on the ground. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said it's in response to the escalating attacks on law enforcement agents and property damage. But are people getting a much different view of what's going on in LA depending on where they're watching this play out? Because it's quite different when you're talking to people in LA.
Yeah.
And very different than what you're seeing on the news.
Did you speak to people?
It's only been on. I literally only played this for about like 30 seconds. And they're already trying to switch this around to this is peaceful. It's not what people are making it out to be. Seeing the videos that's in LA, and then seeing the videos that's in Dallas, and then now seeing a big map and scheduled places, in different states of, these protests, it's getting out insane. Seeing the videos literally in LA, seeing how it is. I actually watched this YouTuber. If y'all don't know this YouTuber, I seen this YouTuber's video. It's Dub. His name Dub. I've showed his YouTube before because the whole thing with Elon, they damaged his Tesla. If y'all know what I'm talking about. It was this dude in LA, black guy in LA, and they damaged his Cybertruck bad. It was all, it was on X. People say they seen it. Y'all, some people probably know what I'm talking about. It's the same dude. He was, in LA. It was literally they were walking down the street and a loud bang went off. I'm sure y'all know what that is. A loud bang. I'm talking about a loud, and they ran. And they're trying to make it seem that it's been peaceful and that we're seeing something completely different from the people that they talk to. I'm telling y'all, bro. One thing about it is, like I keep on saying, Trump did the right thing, what he did.
Have you spoken to people in LA?
My whole family's in
LA.
LA.
What did they say?
They're saying, people are mad. It's been peaceful for days. And then suddenly these guys showed up and flipped everybody.
It has not been peaceful for days. The first time when it first started, y'all, I seen nothing but messing up the streets out there in Los Angeles. I know y'all not gonna believe what we say, but if y'all do, please don't believe it.
Out.
Yeah, I heard.
So that's what my family is saying.
I heard the same thing. I spoke to about 5 people that live in LA, that work in LA, and they said that these protests were very, very orderly. That's
how I know she lying. She can't even say. She literally can't even. She can't even say that it was peaceful. She can't even say that it was peaceful, and stumbling over her words. Sonny, I'm telling y'all, bro. These women are. This is sick right here. This right here is sick. I don't care what nobody says.
And they said that these protests were very, very orderly. They weren't violent, and they occurred in about a 4-block radius. Mm-hmm. And we all know how large LA is. And so, in my view, there is no crisis in Los Angeles that ICE did not cause. That is the fact of the matter, right?
Looks like that.
And we now know that Stephen Miller.
Guaranteed that they told them to clap. What is she even like? What is that? What is she even talking about?
That ICE did not cause. That is the fact of the matter, right?
Looks like
that. And we now know that Stephen Miller ordered his order that they arrest 3,000 people a day. That ICE arrests 3,000 people a day led to this. And what I will also say is, California is the largest economy in the United States, has the largest economy. And it has it's the largest state, and it has a GDP that's larger than many countries. And so I think we have to look at what's happening from a bird's eye perspective and look at the why. Trump is militarizing that state as a test run to make sure that he can do it in places like New York, that he can do it in other sanctuary cities. And so there.
A test run, bro? A test run? Let me explain something to y'all right quick. I guarantee if Trump didn't send those troops, regardless of however the situation, you already know what I'm going to say. Well, regardless of however the situation pan out. Regardless. And he didn't send them, and it was just, you know, the police officers. Guarantee they were going to blame Trump. They were going to blame Trump. One thing about it, as I've noticed, while, you know, supporting them and doing these videos ever since started, you know, a few years ago, doing these videos, I literally noticed that regardless of when I'm looking at Trump, when I'm looking at, you know, when the people that, you know, that's on the left, when I'm looking at, you know, these Democrats, when I'm looking at, one thing about it that I see out of a lot, especially this one right here, is that everything Trump does, they're going to blame. It doesn't matter. I've said it many, many times. He can do something absolutely amazing. They're going to find something so crazy just to blame him. I'm talking about just depending on him.
There is a plan to this, in my view, and I really think that there's no question that the LAPD, that has 9,000 police officers, could have handled this quite well instead of sending in 7,000.
They're handling it quite well, y'all. They're handling it quite well. They're handling it quite well. Like what? Like my thing is stop lying to people, bro. Stop lying to people. They're literally going at it with police officers. There's one other thing to do. What Trump is doing right now. This show is probably the most sick show I've ever watched when it comes to these things, bro. When it comes to these situations, this show is nasty, bro. I'm telling y'all. This is not it. This is not it, bro. What's today? The 11th? They tearing that black SUV up. I gotta watch what I play on here, y'all. But that was a police truck y'all see right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna play a little bit. That's a police car. But the police got it under control, right? The police officers got it under control, right? When I tell y'all that it's absolutely insane of what they're doing right now, it's absolutely crazy. They tried to make it seem like the police officers were damaging their own cars to make it look like people was doing it. It's not. Other lies. They have to take the windshield out. I've seen it all the time. My dad's a police officer. They have to, you know, they do those things, especially, you know, if they are on pursuits, stuff like that. They got to see out of the windshield. Look at this. You hear him say, throw it, throw it, throw it. Look how big that rock is, bro. Look how big that rock is. And they don't think that the National Guard need to be called. They said they got it under control. Am I missing something, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to the video. I'm just saying, like, if y'all, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see for myself at this point. Look what they doing to these police cars, though, y'all. I'm just scrolling through these different videos in different locations. They talking about a 4-block radius. Do y'all see what I'm seeing? Then they got this flag up. They ain't got the American flag. They got this the flag. This, hey, y'all, I'm telling y'all, bro. I can't say nothing on here that I really want to say. But I'm telling y'all, this is insane. Y'all had to say it for me. A little bit.
I think that's very astute what you say. I also think that he's using it as a distraction because his big, beautiful bill is tanking right now. His tariffs are tanking the economy pretty much. Even the Senate is not interested in that bill. And then we know that he had a fight with his best friend, Elon Musk, who dragged out the Epstein file thing.
He's deleted that.
Even if he didn't send those troops, and Trump would have said, you know what, Newsom, handle it, get it situated. You know, I even though that he doesn't, I trust in you, get it situated. Even though that he doesn't, get it handled. They were still gonna say it was a distraction. They still gonna pin it on Trump. Trump did this. Trump did that. I'm telling y'all.
It's more of a distraction than watching people, acting the way they are in Los Angeles. I've seen this, in my lifetime. And sometimes kids get when this happens. In my day, it was Kent State.
Yeah.
And these 4 kids, American students, and 9 were injured very severely in those days. And I think that they better be very careful what they're doing because that is the next thing that will happen.
So I expressed yesterday, I have a major issue with the National Guard going in and now the U.S. Marines. So to put it in context, 4,000 National Guard and 700 Marines, that's significantly more U.S. forces than we had in the wind down of Afghanistan. We had about 2,500 forces, and we were able to secure the entire country against the Taliban because the U.S. military is the greatest fighting force in the history of mankind, and their job is to fight terrorists, to fight America's enemies, not to be policing our U.S. streets. They've been
exactly. So it shouldn't even get to that point. It should not get to that point. They're literally sitting here trying to make it seem like, oh, they shouldn't do this. He shouldn't have sent those troops. It shouldn't have got to that point. But for him to do that because they're not doing their jobs out there in Los Angeles, he has to make. Man, I'm telling y'all, bro, this don't make sense.
It's in the most extreme cases of civil unrest. But what I'll say here is this is where I put a little bit of onus on Governor Newsom. Show that you have the police force to stop the unrest and that it is completely unnecessary to have the National Guard there, to have U.S. troops there, because you can't deny the imagery that you're seeing. There are cars being lit on fire. There are police officers being attacked. There are guardsmen being attacked.
Though?
So to be honest, I don't really care if you're hurting police officers.
Exactly. Like what does that matter? This just shows you how disgusting this shows you how disgusting this show is. She said how many?
You can't deny the imagery that you're seeing. There are cars being lit on fire. There are police officers being attacked. There are guardsmen being attacked.
Though?
So I don't.
That's insane, bro. That right there is nasty. That's nasty work. I don't care what nobody said. That's nasty work. Regardless if it was just one police officer, it does not matter. That just goes to show y'all of how they don't care, man. No, they don't care, bro. I bet not hear nobody open up their mouth on my comments and these comments talking about ABC, The View is the best show, is the great show. Joy Behar, Whoopi, Sonny, none of them. All of them kick rocks. And if you're watching it, kick rocks. I promise you. Kick rocks. When they go to the women of The View, kick rocks, bro. Because that right there is disgusting. It's disgusting, and I'm so mad about it because of the simple fact that I have family members that's police officers. I got an uncle. I call him uncle. He a detective out here in Indiana. My dad is a police officer. 27 years. 26 years. It don't matter how many. He a police officer. Friends that so when I look and I hear it coming out of Joy's mouth, how many? Disgusting,
imagery that you're seeing. There are cars being lit on fire. There are police officers being attacked. There are guardsmen being attacked.
Though?
So to be honest, I don't really care if you're hurting police officers, if you're damaging property. That you should get your day in court for.
But nothing was happening like that until they sent this.
It does not matter. People keep on saying until they sent nothing. You cannot justify that just because they sent the to having ICE raids and sending the National Guard. They give people a right to just do whatever. This just goes to show you that age don't mean shit. This right here, it goes to show you that age don't mean shit at all. And that's why I'm so mad. I'm tired of people talking about, oh, her age, she should. Man, it don't matter. Joy Behar, how old is Joy Behar? Ain't she like 82 or something? How old is Joy Behar? She 82. She 82 years old and she has a childish mentality, and probably always had a childish mentality. I don't know Joy like that. I'm sure she's been on The View for a long time, but I'm sure she's always had a childish mentality, and it shows. It literally shows. She didn't have that common sense. She don't have that common sense. It's not all there. You obviously, and I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but it's not.
This is where it's on the governor to say, let's make this the biggest peaceful protest in history. But the second it gets violent, the governor needs to crack down and show he's capable of policing.
I'm sorry, baby.
That's right.
Part of the problem is that Taco didn't wait.
Right.
But Taco didn't wait for the governor to call him in.
It was the most predictable fight for Donald Trump to pick.
Well, yes.
Gavin Newsom should have seen this coming from a mile away.
That is correct.
I was listening to Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger today on TV, and I thought she offered some insight that was saying there's a lot of things going wrong here, and it dates back even to when California became a sanctuary place, that when there are sanctuary cities, it forces ICE and a lot of the law enforcement to go into the communities. So it almost puts the communities at unrest. And she was saying there's a lot of things here. Obviously, it was exacerbated when the National Guard was sent in. It also shows a disconnect in communication. Federal, when they call in, it should be working with the governor, not separately from the governor, in order to take care of the people on the ground. So communities. So it almost puts the communities at unrest. And she was saying there's a lot of things here. Obviously, it was exacerbated when the National Guard was sent in. It also shows a disconnect in communication. Federal, when they call in, it should be working with the governor, not separately from the governor, in order to take care of the people on the ground. So I would.
I'm gonna let y'all say something about that part, because I already got mad. I didn't cuss on the channel. I don't even be cussing on my channel, bro. That ain't got me heated. I'm sorry.
Say that there's a lot of things going on here, but none of it should be partisan. And this is why I say either we're for the idea of justice, and when people are looting or there is any violence, they should be punished, or we're going to release January 6th insurrectionists. We're doing one or the other, because it should be consistent across the board.
Let me show you guys something. I want to show.
They're going to bring that up regardless. You already know.
You both. So all of it. Do you have the thing? I want you to tell me. Do you guys have it, or is it not ready? Hello, speaking to myself again.
There we go.
Okay. So can you tell me which one is the riot in Los Angeles and which is the celebration for the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philadelphia loves to burn itself.
You mean to tell me that they in the middle of the street burning T-shirts or something like that, and it's just, a fire going on, celebrating for whatever, and then you got them throwing fireworks and other objects that is literally going up at the police cars. I've seen people. I literally just watched a video of them firing shots at police officers, children in the car, damaging vehicles. And they're trying to make this seem like this is something that's just okay to do, and trying to compare it to a celebration in Philadelphia.
One is the riot in Los Angeles, and which is the celebration for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Philadelphia loves to burn itself down.
But
was the National Guard sent in when Philadelphia was burning?
Why would the National Guard be sent into Philadelphia because they're burning shirts in the middle of the street? That's something that the police, would handle. Fire department, this, that, and the other. This in L.A.? Come on, bro. This is like that's something that you just not you can't compare that. I don't care what nobody say. You cannot compare that right there. That does not work.
National Guard was not. Well, that's the point.
Yeah. Where's the National Guard?
In part,
they're burning pillowcases.
I have a question.
And that is a cop car. They serious? Man, I'm not watching no more of this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not watching no more of this. I'll let y'all let me know y'all comments, thoughts down below. I'm mad right now. I'm trying not to cuss. I've been trying to work on myself. But I'm gonna let y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this. I absolutely find it. I feel like this is probably the craziest video I've ever watched on The View. I know there's some crazy videos when it comes to Kamala. And her answers of Sunny Hostin's questions, or what Sunny Hostin said about the Super Bowl. But this right here, this top everything. This literally tops everything that I've seen on The View. Y'all probably have like a top. I would say this is definitely in my top 5. This is in my top 5 of videos, the craziest videos I've ever watched from The View on my channel, period. I'm telling y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.